Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. I never realized guilt could have a sound until I started hearing it in the quiet. The faint clink of his coffee mug in the morning, the rhythm of his shoes against a hardwood floor when he left for work. Every sound became a reminder of what I'd done. My name is Emily, and I cheated on a man who trusted me more than anyone ever had. It only happened once, or at least that's the lie I told myself. One night that was supposed to mean nothing, yet somehow managed to mean everything and nothing all at once. It followed one of our worst arguments about bills, about attention, about how he wasn't the man he used to be. The truth was, neither was I. I just didn't want to face it. He never found out, not officially, but something inside him shifted, as if his heart could feel what mine had done. Ethan stopped laughing the way he used to. He still kissed me before bed, still asked about my day, but there was a quiet distance behind his eyes, like a man standing close enough to love me, but far enough to stay safe if I broke again. That scared me more than anger ever could. Every morning, I'd wake before him and just watch him breathe, trying to convince myself he was still mine. But each sunrise felt like he belonged to me a little less. The man I betrayed was kind, gentle, the sort who never raised his voice, even when I deserved it. He worked long hours, always coming home smelling like sawdust and soap. That scent once meant comfort. Now it made my stomach turn. The affair, if it even deserved that word, lasted 3 weeks. A blur of messages, excuses, and moments that felt thrilling then but hollow after. The man I cheated with was a co-worker, someone who said all the right things when I felt invisible. He wasn't cruel. He just wasn't Ethan. When it ended, I thought that was it, that if I buried it deep enough, time would wash it clean. But guilt doesn't fade. It festers. It seeps into everything. It lives in the quiet after laughter and the silence between words. Months later, I can barely look at Ethan without feeling like an imposter in my own marriage. He doesn't know, but sometimes I think he does. There's a look he gives me, soft yet distant, as if he's already halfway gone in his mind. He's too good to say it out loud, but maybe he's waiting for me to. My biggest fear isn't that he'll leave me for someone else. It's that one morning, he'll look at me and simply stop loving me. Not out of anger, not out of hate, just nothing. That quiet kind of ending that feels permanent. I've tried to fix it. Cooking his favorite meals, laughing at his jokes, slipping little notes into his lunchbox like I used to. He smiles, says thank you, but it feels mechanical now. Kindness without connection. Sometimes I think about confessing, just to stop feeling like I'm drowning. But what good would that do? My words would only shift the pain from me to him. And the thought of breaking that gentle, patient man terrifies me more than any consequence ever could. So I stay silent, pretending it's peace. I lie beside him at night, counting the seconds between his breaths, wondering if he's already imagining a life without me. The cruelest part is knowing he deserves better, and knowing that if he ever looked at me with that calm, resigned expression that said, I know when I'm done, I wouldn't survive it. Because the truth isn't just that I cheated. It's that I stopped loving myself the moment I did. Guilt makes you careful. You measure every word, every look, terrified that one wrong move will crack the fragile lie you're balancing on. That became my life. Constant calculation. When Ethan would ask, you okay? I'd smile and say, just tired. The lie rolled off my tongue so easily it scared me. I'd cook dinner, ask about his day, listen to him talk about work. He still spoke with that same calm warmth, but it never reached his eyes anymore. I wondered if he noticed mine stopped shining back. Sometimes I'd catch him watching me quietly, not suspicious, just distant, like he was studying someone he used to know. Maybe he saw it before I did, that I wasn't the woman he'd married. One night, I woke to find him sitting at the edge of the bed, staring into the dark. The clock read 2:37 a.m. Can't sleep? I whispered. He didn't look at me. Just thinking, he said, about what? There was a long pause. Then softly, about whether people really change. The air left my lungs. I wanted to say yes, that I could, but the word stuck somewhere between my throat and my heart. He lay back down, and I turned away, pretending to sleep, blinking against tears that felt like confession. In the morning, he kissed my forehead like always, gentle, kind. But that question hung between us all day. I started writing letters to him. Confessions I'd never send. Pages filled with apologies, with memories of what we used to be. I wrote about the first night he held my hand under a streetlight, the way he carried me into our first apartment and said, "We'll build everything together," and how I tore it all down with one choice. Those letters piled up in my drawer, neatly folded, hidden beneath sweaters. Some nights, I'd read them and wonder what he'd say if he found them. Maybe he'd forgive me. Maybe he'd leave. Maybe both. Then one Friday evening, something changed. Ethan came home early. He looked tired, his face softer than usual. "Let's go for a drive," he said. No reason. No explanation. Just that quiet tone that didn't leave room for no. We drove past a coffee shop where we used to spend lazy Sundays, past a park where he once pushed me on a swing like we were kids again. The sunset bled gold across the sky, and for a moment, it almost felt like before. Then he parked by the lake. The air smelled like pine and rain. We sat in silence until he spoke. "Emily, I don't know what's changed between us, but I feel it. You don't have to tell me, but I feel it." My throat closed. I tried to speak, but no sound came. He turned toward me, his eyes steady yet unbearably gentle. "I've spent months trying to figure out what I did wrong," he said quietly. "But maybe it's not about wrong. Maybe it's just done." Tears streamed down my face before I could stop them. "I love you," I whispered, my voice trembling with everything I wished those words still meant. He nodded slowly. "I know. I just don't think love is supposed to hurt this much anymore." He started the car. The drive home was silent. Not angry, just final. That night, when he fell asleep beside me, I stared at the ceiling, realizing the truth I'd been running from all along. I hadn't just betrayed him. I'd stolen the peace we both deserved. And no matter how long I stayed, it wouldn't come back. The next morning, he left early. No kiss on the forehead this time. Just a quiet, "See you later," but we both knew he wouldn't. I sat at the kitchen table long after he was gone, staring at the letters I'd written. One by one, I tore them apart and watched the pieces scatter like ash. Maybe one day, he'll find someone who never makes him question if he's enough. And maybe one day, I'll finally forgive myself for proving I wasn't. Until then, I live with the echo of his voice, the weight of what I broke, and the quiet, relentless truth that he's not coming back. And deep down, I know he shouldn't.